The moment you stop chasing, forcing, and worrying, everything begins to move in your favor. Have you ever wondered why some people receive unexpected blessings while others remain trapped in endless struggle? The difference is not intelligence, luck, or perfect timing. It is the state of their spirit. A peaceful heart attracts what a desperate heart keeps pushing away. The greatest miracles are not born from panic. They are born from quiet certainty. What if the very thing you've been praying for is already making its way toward you? What if the only thing standing between you and your breakthrough is your decision to remain calm instead of becoming consumed by fear? Every time life tests your patience, you are being given a choice. Trust the unseen or surrender to doubt. The path you choose shapes the reality you experience. Today, you are about to discover a life-changing truth. There is a power so great that it can turn delays into divine appointments, setbacks into hidden blessings, and impossible situations into remarkable testimonies. When you master the art of staying unbothered, you stop resisting the flow of good that has always been seeking you. You become steady when others panic, hopeful when others quit, and peaceful when the world expects you to fall apart. Stay with me until the very end, because this message could completely change the way you face every challenge from this day forward. Once you understand why staying unbothered invites miracles, you will never look at your problems the same way again. Your next blessing may not require more effort. It may simply require more peace. Peace is one of the greatest treasures you will ever possess, yet it is also one of the easiest things to give away. Many people surrender it without realizing what they are losing. They allow the opinions of others, unexpected setbacks, disappointing news, and uncertain circumstances to disturb their inner world. They believe that once everything around them becomes perfect, they will finally experience peace. But true peace does not wait for perfect conditions. It exists before the answer arrives, before the opportunity appears, and before the miracle becomes visible. It is a decision you make long before the evidence catches up. Every day presents countless opportunities to become irritated, discouraged, offended, or afraid. The world constantly invites you into worry, but you are under no obligation to accept the invitation. You have the ability to choose what occupies your thoughts. When you protect your peace, you are guarding the doorway of your mind. You are deciding that fear, doubt, resentment, and anxiety are not worthy of permanent residence within you. They may knock, but they do not have to enter. Most people believe their circumstances create their emotions, but it is often the other way around. The state of your mind determines how you experience your circumstances. Two people can face the same challenge, yet one falls into despair while the other remains hopeful and composed. The difference is not found in the situation itself, but in the thoughts they choose to entertain. Peace begins with disciplined thinking. It grows stronger every time you refuse to imagine failure, and instead choose to expect good. There is an unseen law constantly responding to your dominant state of consciousness. When your heart is filled with fear, you begin noticing more reasons to fear. When your mind is filled with confidence and gratitude, opportunities seem to appear from unexpected places. This is why protecting your peace is not merely about feeling calm. It is about aligning yourself with a higher order that is always working for your benefit. A peaceful mind becomes receptive to wisdom, inspiration, and solutions that cannot be discovered through panic. Consider how much energy is wasted trying to solve tomorrow's problems before they even exist. The imagination, when controlled by fear, creates scenes of failure that never happen. Hours are spent worrying about conversations that never take place, disasters that never occur, and disappointments that never arrive. This constant mental strain weakens confidence and blinds you to the blessings already surrounding you. Peace interrupts this exhausting cycle. It reminds you that the future is not built by anxious predictions, but by faithful expectation. There is tremendous strength in remaining emotionally steady, while everything around you seems uncertain. Calmness is not indifference. It is confidence that refuses to be shaken by temporary appearances. It is knowing that visible conditions are always subject to change. What seems impossible today may become effortless tomorrow. Doors that appear permanently closed can open without warning. Answers can arrive from directions you never considered. Favor often appears when least expected, but it is easier to recognize when your heart is not clouded by fear. Protecting your peace also means refusing to allow other people's negativity to determine the quality of your day. Some individuals carry discouragement wherever they go. They speak constantly about lack, failure, injustice, and disappointment. If you accept every fearful opinion you hear, your own confidence begins to weaken. You must become selective about what you allow into your consciousness. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every prediction deserves your belief. Truth is not established by how many people repeat a fearful thought. There will always be moments when life seems to challenge everything you believe. Plans may change without warning. People may disappoint you. Opportunities may appear delayed. During those moments, your greatest victory is not found in forcing circumstances to change immediately. Your greatest victory is maintaining the same inner confidence, regardless of what appears before your eyes. A peaceful spirit refuses to surrender its joy, simply because external conditions have become uncomfortable. Gratitude is one of the strongest protectors of peace. It shifts attention away from what seems missing, and toward the abundance already present. The thankful heart naturally becomes more receptive to greater blessings, because it recognizes good wherever it appears. Even small moments of kindness, unexpected opportunities, and daily provisions become reminders that life is continually supporting you. Gratitude quiets the restless desire to control every outcome and replaces it with trust that every need is already being considered. Your words also play an important role in preserving your peace. Many people unknowingly disturb themselves by constantly speaking about obstacles, delays, sickness, failure, or disappointment. Every repeated complaint strengthens the very condition they wish to escape. Words carry creative influence because they reinforce the beliefs held within the heart. When you deliberately speak words of confidence, abundance, harmony, and expectation, your mind gradually begins accepting those truths as natural. Your conversations either strengthen your peace or weaken it. Every peaceful thought is like planting a seed in fertile ground. Though nothing may appear to change immediately, unseen growth has already begun. Quiet confidence produces patience, and patience allows unseen processes to unfold without interference. Instead of digging up the seed through worry and doubt, you allow it to develop according to its perfect season. You become less concerned with how every detail will happen, because you trust that the intelligence guiding the universe is infinitely wiser than your own limited understanding. Protecting your peace means treating it as something sacred rather than something optional. It becomes more valuable than winning every argument, proving every point, or reacting to every inconvenience. You begin realizing that nothing outside of you deserves the authority to steal the calm confidence that lives within you. When peace becomes your priority, your entire life begins reflecting that inner harmony through clearer decisions, healthier relationships, unexpected opportunities, and an unshakable expectation that good is always finding its way to you. The desire to control every detail seems reasonable at first. It feels responsible, intelligent, and even necessary. The mind convinces itself that if every possibility is examined, every outcome predicted, and every risk eliminated, then life will finally become secure. Yet this constant effort to manage every circumstance quietly steals the very peace you are searching for. The more tightly you try to hold life together, the more exhausted you become. Worry disguises itself as preparation. Fear pretends to be wisdom, and overthinking calls itself responsibility. In reality, these habits often prevent you from recognizing the quiet guidance that has been available to you all along. There is a higher order moving through every experience, arranging events in ways the human mind cannot fully understand. It sees connections long before they become visible. It prepares opportunities before you know you need them. It removes obstacles you never even realize existed. While you are focused on what seems delayed or uncertain, unseen forces may already be opening a better path than the one you originally imagined. Every moment does not require your complete understanding. Sometimes the greatest act of wisdom is allowing life to unfold without demanding immediate explanations. Fear always asks for proof before it believes. Faith believes first and allows the proof to appear afterward. That simple difference changes everything. When your thoughts become consumed with controlling the future, you unknowingly declare that only your own effort can create success. Yet countless blessings throughout life have arrived through circumstances no amount of planning could have produced. Unexpected conversations have opened remarkable opportunities. Sudden changes have redirected people toward happier lives. What once appeared to be failure has often become the beginning of extraordinary success. Notice how often your greatest worries never actually happen. The imagination has a remarkable ability to create problems that exist nowhere except within the mind. Hours are spent preparing for conversations that never occur, fearing losses that never arrive, and expecting disappointment that never becomes reality. Meanwhile, precious moments of peace quietly disappear. Every anxious thought demands energy. Every fearful prediction weakens confidence. Every attempt to control the unknown distracts you from the blessings already surrounding you. A peaceful heart understands that there is a difference between faithful action and anxious striving. Faithful action means doing today's work with sincerity, excellence, and gratitude. Anxious striving means believing that endless worrying will somehow improve tomorrow. The first creates confidence. The second creates exhaustion. You are responsible for your choices, your attitude, your effort, and your integrity. Beyond that point, there is wisdom greater than your own that continues the work where your hands can no longer reach. Think about a traveler boarding a train. Once seated, there is no need to carry the heavy suitcase on their shoulders throughout the journey. The train is already carrying both the traveler and the luggage. Yet many people live as though they must continue carrying burdens that have already been placed into stronger hands. They refuse to rest because they believe constant mental effort is necessary. In truth, the burden becomes lighter the moment they realize they were never meant to carry everything alone. Patience becomes effortless when trust replaces control. Waiting no longer feels like punishment because you understand that unseen preparation is taking place. Just because your eyes cannot detect movement does not mean nothing is happening. Roots grow beneath the soil long before branches appear above the ground. Rivers quietly shape mountains through persistence rather than force. Dawn arrives every morning without struggle. Nature accomplishes extraordinary things through steady order rather than frantic effort. Your own life follows the same principle when you stop interfering with fear. Every delay carries the possibility of hidden protection. Every closed door may be preventing unnecessary pain. Every unexpected turn can become the beginning of something greater than your original desire. Looking backward, many people recognize that the events they once resisted eventually became the reasons for their greatest happiness. If every wish had been granted exactly as requested, they would have missed opportunities far beyond what they imagined possible. Releasing control does not mean abandoning responsibility. It means refusing to believe that everything depends upon your limited understanding. Continue making wise decisions. Continue taking inspired action. Continue honoring your commitments. Then allow the results to unfold without constant anxiety. There is remarkable freedom in doing your part, while trusting that the unseen is faithfully doing its part as well. Gratitude naturally replaces worry when you begin recognizing how much has already been arranged in your favor. Every breath, every sunrise, every meaningful relationship, every lesson learned, and every unexpected opportunity reminds you that life has never depended solely upon your personal effort. Countless blessings have entered your experience through channels you never planned. The same unseen wisdom that guided those moments continues working today, even if present circumstances seem confusing. Inner peace grows stronger each time you resist the temptation to control what has not yet happened. Instead of asking how every detail will unfold, you begin expecting that everything necessary will appear at the proper moment. Inspiration often arrives unexpectedly when the mind is relaxed. Solutions emerge while walking, praying, resting, or quietly reflecting, rather than during endless mental struggle. Calmness creates space for wisdom to speak where anxiety only creates noise. Freedom begins the moment you release the impossible task of controlling every circumstance. Your future is not built by fear, nor is your destiny determined by endless worry. Life responds to quiet confidence, patient expectation, and unwavering trust. The more willing you become to loosen your grip on uncertainty, the more room you create for extraordinary opportunities, unexpected favor, divine timing, and miracles that arrive in ways far greater than anything you could have designed yourself. Every day presents you with appearances that seem convincing. A disappointing report, an unexpected delay, a closed door, a difficult conversation, or a temporary lack of progress can easily persuade you that your hopes are fading. Yet appearances are never the final authority. They are only snapshots of a single moment, not the complete story. Too many people make permanent decisions based on temporary conditions. They allow what they see today to define what they expect tomorrow, forgetting that every visible circumstance is capable of changing. Your outer world is constantly shifting because it reflects movement rather than permanence. Storms eventually pass. Seasons always change. Night gives way to morning without fail. Nature itself teaches that nothing remains exactly as it appears forever. The same principle applies to every challenge you face. What feels impossible today may become surprisingly simple tomorrow. What looks like failure may quietly be preparing the foundation for remarkable success. The visible world is always responding to deeper forces that cannot be measured by the eyes alone. Fear has a habit of treating temporary appearances as permanent facts. The moment something goes wrong, it whispers that everything is falling apart. A single disappointment suddenly becomes proof that nothing will ever improve. One delay becomes evidence that your opportunity has been lost forever. This is how discouragement grows. It takes a passing cloud and convinces you the sun has disappeared. Yet the sun has never stopped shining. It is only hidden from view for a little while. There is tremendous wisdom in refusing to judge your future by your present circumstances. Your current situation is only a chapter, never the entire book. Every great transformation begins while the evidence still suggests otherwise. Before a seed becomes a tree, it appears lifeless beneath the soil. Before dawn arrives, the night seems at its darkest. Before a breakthrough becomes visible, there is often a period when nothing appears to be changing. Those who understand this remain calm because they know that unseen progress is often taking place beneath the surface. The mind naturally reacts to what it sees, but the spirit chooses what it believes. That choice determines the direction of your life. If you constantly agree with fear because of outward appearances, you strengthen fear's influence over your thinking. If you choose instead to agree with hope, confidence, and expectation despite what your eyes report, you begin aligning yourself with greater possibilities. Faith is not pretending difficulties do not exist. Faith is recognizing that difficulties never possess the final word. Many people unknowingly give appearances more authority than truth. They believe their bank account defines their future, their present circumstances define their potential, or another person's opinion defines their worth. Yet none of these things possess lasting power unless you accept them as permanent. Wealth has been created from seasons of lack. Strong relationships have emerged after painful disappointments. Extraordinary opportunities have appeared after countless rejected applications. Every visible limitation contains the possibility of unexpected change. Your words should never become prisoners of present circumstances. If you constantly speak about obstacles, lack, failure, and disappointment, simply because they appear real at the moment, you reinforce those conditions within your own thinking. Instead, learn to speak according to the future you expect, rather than the difficulty you presently observe. Speak peace while surrounded by uncertainty. Speak abundance while temporary lack exists. Speak health while believing restoration is already unfolding. Your words become declarations of expectation, instead of descriptions of limitation. Patience becomes much easier when you stop demanding immediate evidence. Some of life's greatest answers require time to mature. Just because the visible world has not yet caught up with your desire, does not mean your desire is being ignored. Much of the most important work happens where your eyes cannot reach. A flower develops quietly before it blooms. Rivers carve valleys over years of steady movement. Great achievements often begin with invisible preparation, long before anyone notices the results. There will always be voices eager to convince you that appearances tell the whole story. They will encourage you to lower your expectations, abandon your dreams, and settle for less, because they cannot see what is possible beyond the present moment. You must become careful whose conclusions you accept. Not everyone sees with the eyes of hope. Many people speak only from what they observe, while wisdom speaks from what it knows is still possible. Every challenge invites you to decide whether you will become a prisoner of appearances or a guardian of expectation. The decision is made quietly within your own thoughts, long before circumstances begin changing. If you continue expecting disappointment, your attention naturally searches for more evidence to support it. If you expect good, your awareness gradually becomes sensitive to opportunities, solutions, and unexpected favor that fearful thinking would have overlooked. What you consistently expect shapes what you consistently notice. Calm confidence allows you to stand steady, even while visible conditions remain unchanged. You no longer panic, because progress cannot yet be measured. You understand that every season serves a purpose, and that many answers arrive precisely when they are most needed, rather than when they are most demanded. Instead of allowing temporary appearances to determine your emotions, you allow lasting truth to guide your perspective. The visible world becomes something you observe, rather than something that controls your inner peace. Refusing to react to temporary appearances is not denial, it is disciplined vision. It is choosing to believe that every circumstance remains subject to change, every setback carries hidden possibilities, and every delay may be preparing something greater than immediate success could have provided. When your confidence remains anchored in what is eternally true, rather than what is temporarily visible, your heart stays peaceful, your expectations remain high, and your life becomes open to remarkable changes that often arrive when appearances have already convinced everyone else to give up. Words are far more powerful than most people realize. They are not merely sounds that disappear into the air. Every word you repeatedly speak carries an expectation, and every expectation quietly shapes the atmosphere of your life. Many people spend their days speaking about what they fear, what they lack, what might go wrong, and why nothing ever seems to work in their favor. Without noticing it, they strengthen those very ideas in their own minds. The tongue becomes a messenger of doubt, instead of a voice of confidence, and the heart begins accepting those repeated statements as truth. Your words reveal what you believe long before your circumstances reveal what you will experience. Listen carefully to ordinary conversations, and you will notice how often people predict disappointment before it arrives. They say they never have enough, that opportunities never come to them, that life is always difficult, or that nothing ever changes. These statements may feel harmless because they describe present circumstances, but every repeated declaration leaves a deeper impression upon the mind. What you consistently affirm eventually becomes the lens through which you view the world. There is an invisible relationship between your thoughts, your words, and your experiences. Thoughts become words, words strengthen belief, and belief influences the direction of your actions and expectations. This is why speaking only good is not about ignoring reality. It is about choosing which reality you are giving life to within your own consciousness. Every encouraging word plants a seed of hope. Every fearful word plants a seed of doubt. Both kinds of seeds grow according to the attention they receive. Many people unknowingly cancel their own prayers through careless speech. They ask for peace while continually talking about anxiety. They desire abundance while constantly repeating words of limitation. They long for harmony while speaking criticism and resentment throughout the day. These mixed messages create inner conflict because the mind cannot confidently move toward a future that the tongue continually questions. Consistency between your expectations and your words creates remarkable inner strength. Imagine walking through a beautiful garden, carrying a bag filled with flower seeds in one hand and weeds in the other. Every few steps, you scatter both without paying attention. Months later, you cannot understand why weeds appear among the flowers, The garden simply grows whatever has been planted. Your mind works in much the same way. Every conversation, every complaint, every hopeful declaration, and every fearful prediction becomes a seed. Life faithfully responds to what is planted most consistently. Speaking good does not require pretending that challenges do not exist. Difficult situations deserve wise attention, but they do not deserve complete control over your language. You may acknowledge a problem without allowing it to become the center of every conversation. Instead of magnifying obstacles, begin magnifying possibilities. Instead of declaring defeat before the journey has ended, speak with quiet confidence that a solution is already unfolding. Your words become expressions of trust rather than reactions to fear. Expectation is one of the strongest creative forces within the human spirit. Whatever you genuinely expect, you naturally prepare yourself to receive. A person expecting failure often notices every obstacle while overlooking opportunities. A person expecting good remains alert to favorable circumstances that others fail to recognize. The difference is not always found in external conditions, but in the attitude that shapes perception. Hope sharpens vision. Fear narrows it. Gratitude naturally transforms the language you use. When appreciation fills your heart, your conversations begin reflecting abundance instead of lack. You notice blessings that previously escaped your attention. Small victories become meaningful. Ordinary moments become reminders of life's generosity. The thankful person develops the habit of speaking well because the mind becomes occupied with recognizing what is already working. Instead of constantly searching for what appears missing, the words you speak to yourself deserve special attention. Long before you speak aloud, an inner conversation is already taking place. If that conversation is filled with criticism, worry, and discouragement, it quietly influences every decision you make. Replace those silent messages with words that strengthen rather than weaken you. Remind yourself that every challenge can become an opportunity. Every delay has a purpose, and every new day carries possibilities beyond yesterday's disappointments. The mind gradually accepts whatever it hears most often. Your expectations also influence the atmosphere surrounding those closest to you. Encouraging words lift the hearts of others and strengthen their confidence. Gentle speech creates peace where harsh criticism creates resistance. Speaking with hope inspires courage, not only within yourself but within your family, friends, and everyone who crosses your path. Positive expectation spreads quietly from one heart to another, because confidence has a way of awakening confidence. There will always be moments when circumstances tempt you to speak from frustration instead of faith. News may appear discouraging. Plans may unexpectedly change. Answers may seem delayed. During those moments, guard your words carefully. A single difficult day does not deserve a lifetime of negative declarations. Refuse to make permanent statements based on temporary emotions. Allow patience to guide your speech until clarity returns. Calm words preserve inner peace even when outward conditions remain uncertain. Speaking and expecting only good is not wishful thinking. It is disciplined thinking. It is choosing to align your language with possibility instead of limitation. It is refusing to become an echo of fear when you have the opportunity to become a voice of hope. Every sentence you speak becomes either a bridge toward greater confidence or a barrier built from doubt. When your words consistently reflect peace, gratitude, abundance, wisdom, and expectation, your mind begins living in harmony with those truths. From that place of inner agreement, your actions become stronger, your vision becomes clearer, your heart remains steady, and your life grows increasingly receptive to blessings that have been waiting for a mind willing to speak, as though good is not only possible but already on its way. Calm confidence is one of the rarest qualities a person can possess. It does not shout for attention, argue for approval, or demand immediate results. It moves quietly through every circumstance with the steady assurance that everything needed will arrive at the right moment. While the world often mistakes loud determination for strength, true strength is found in the person who remains peaceful when others become overwhelmed. There is extraordinary power in a heart that refuses to be shaken by temporary conditions. Every morning offers a fresh opportunity to choose the atmosphere you will carry throughout the day. Before the world begins offering its opinions, before unexpected news arrives, and before challenges demand your attention, you have the privilege of deciding how you will meet the day. You can begin with anxiety, wondering what might go wrong, or you can begin with quiet confidence, expecting that every experience will somehow work together for your highest good. That single decision influences the thoughts you entertain, the words you speak, and the actions you take. Confidence that depends upon favorable circumstances is fragile. It disappears the moment difficulties appear. Lasting confidence is built upon something much deeper. It grows from the understanding that visible conditions are always changing, but the unseen principles guiding life remain constant. Opportunities may come and go. People may enter and leave. Seasons may shift without warning. Yet the source of wisdom, provision, and guidance remains steady. When your confidence is rooted there, changing circumstances lose their power to disturb your peace. There will always be voices encouraging you to react with fear. The headlines, the opinions of discouraged people, and even your own past experiences may attempt to convince you that disappointment is inevitable. Calm confidence refuses to accept those predictions as final. It quietly remembers that every new day carries possibilities that have never existed before. Yesterday's failures do not possess authority over today's opportunities, unless you continue giving them permission through your expectations. Living with calm confidence does not mean ignoring preparation or responsibility. It means completing every task with excellence, while refusing to carry unnecessary emotional burdens. Do your work faithfully, make wise decisions, learn from every experience, continue growing in knowledge and understanding. Then release the exhausting habit of trying to control every result. Your responsibility ends where fear begins. Beyond your faithful effort lies a wisdom that continues working where your own strength reaches its limits. Many people spend their lives waiting for confidence to appear after success arrives. They believe they will finally trust themselves once circumstances improve. Yet confidence is not the reward for visible success. It is often the reason success becomes possible. Those who quietly expect good continue moving forward despite uncertainty. They remain consistent while others surrender to discouragement. Their confidence allows them to recognize opportunities hidden within ordinary moments, because fear no longer blinds their vision. Notice how nature expresses quiet certainty. The sunrise never doubts whether morning will come. Rivers continue flowing around obstacles without frustration. Trees remain firmly rooted while seasons change around them. Flowers bloom without asking permission from the opinions of others. Every part of creation follows its purpose without anxious striving. There is a beautiful lesson hidden within this simplicity. Life accomplishes remarkable things through steady consistency rather than frantic effort. You are invited to live by the same principle. Patience becomes a natural companion of calm confidence. When you trust that everything necessary is unfolding at the proper time, there is no need to rush every process. Growth cannot be forced. Wisdom cannot be hurried. The most valuable achievements often require seasons of quiet preparation before they become visible. Instead of becoming discouraged by apparent delays, you begin appreciating the unseen work taking place beneath the surface. Every waiting season develops qualities that immediate success could never produce. Your daily habits quietly strengthen or weaken your confidence. Every grateful thought reinforces peace. Every hopeful expectation strengthens courage. Every kind word lifts your spirit. Every moment spent dwelling upon fear drains your energy. Living with calm confidence requires gentle discipline over your attention. Choose carefully what you read, what you repeatedly think about, and whose voices you allow to influence your mind. Inner peace grows wherever your attention consistently rests upon what is good, true, and life-giving. There is no need to prove your confidence through constant explanation. Quiet assurance speaks through consistent living, rather than endless words. A peaceful person does not become easily offended, because approval is no longer their foundation. They do not panic over temporary setbacks because they understand that every experience remains capable of changing. They do not compare their journey with someone else's because they trust that every life unfolds according to its own perfect rhythm. Challenges will continue appearing throughout life, but your relationship with those challenges begins changing. Instead of immediately asking why difficulties exist, you begin asking what wisdom they contain. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to strengthen trust. Every uncertainty becomes another invitation to practice patience. Every unexpected change becomes evidence that life is still moving, still unfolding, and still capable of revealing blessings from completely unforeseen directions. Calm confidence transforms ordinary living into a quiet expectation of good. You wake each morning believing that meaningful encounters, fresh ideas, timely solutions, and unexpected favor are already making their way toward you. You move through the day without allowing fear to dictate your decisions. Your heart remains steady whether circumstances appear favorable or uncertain, because your hope rests upon something greater than appearances. This quiet certainty becomes a peaceful influence on everyone around you, opening your mind to inspired ideas, strengthening your spirit during difficult seasons, and creating the perfect atmosphere for miracles to arrive naturally, unexpectedly, and abundantly. Miracles often arrive when you least expect them, not because they are random, but because your heart has finally become ready to receive them. A restless mind keeps searching for signs, demanding proof, and questioning every delay. A peaceful mind, however, lives with quiet expectation. It no longer asks, "When will my blessing come?" It simply knows that what belongs to it cannot be withheld forever. This calm expectancy creates an atmosphere where fear loses its influence and hope becomes stronger than uncertainty. There is a remarkable difference between waiting with anxiety and waiting with confidence. Anxiety counts every passing day as evidence that nothing is happening. Confidence understands that unseen work continues even when visible progress cannot yet be measured. Just because your eyes cannot witness movement does not mean life has become still. Much of the greatest work is accomplished in silence. A seed does not announce its growth beneath the earth, yet every passing day brings it closer to breaking through the surface. The same unseen process is often unfolding in your own life. Many people abandon their dreams because they mistake silence for absence. They assume that because nothing dramatic has happened, nothing ever will. Yet silence is not emptiness. Silence is often preparation. It is the season during which circumstances align, hearts change, opportunities develop, and unseen connections quietly come together. What appears motionless may actually be filled with invisible activity beyond your present understanding. Expectation is not wishful thinking. It is an inner attitude that quietly declares good is already on its way. This expectation changes how you live each day. Instead of approaching life with discouragement, you begin noticing possibilities. Instead of expecting disappointment, you become alert to unexpected favor. Your attention naturally moves toward opportunity because your heart believes opportunity exists. What you consistently expect influences what you consistently recognize. Imagine receiving an important guest into your home. You would prepare the room before they arrived. You would not wait until they knocked on the door before making space for them. In much the same way, expectancy prepares your inner world before the visible blessing appears. Gratitude prepares the heart. Peace prepares the mind. Confidence prepares your actions. You begin living as though good is not merely possible but inevitable. Doubt constantly asks for evidence before believing. Faith believes first and allows the evidence to unfold in its proper season. This does not require ignoring present circumstances. It simply means refusing to let temporary appearances become permanent conclusions. Every challenge becomes smaller when viewed through the understanding that today's conditions are not tomorrow's certainty. Life has an extraordinary ability to surprise those who remain open to unexpected possibilities. There are countless moments when blessings arrive through doors you never intended to open. A conversation you almost missed changes the direction of your career. A delay protects you from making the wrong decision. A disappointment redirects you toward an opportunity far greater than the one you originally desired. Looking back, you often discover that what seemed confusing at the time was quietly leading you towards something better than your own plans could have arranged. Patience is strengthened whenever you remember that timing possesses its own wisdom. Fruit picked before it is ripe cannot be enjoyed. Buildings constructed without strong foundations cannot endure. Lasting blessings often require careful preparation before they become visible. What feels like waiting may actually be the process that makes your future success secure. Every season carries value, even those that seem uneventful. The heart filled with expectation also becomes generous with encouragement. It speaks hope instead of despair. It offers kindness instead of criticism. It celebrates the victories of others without feeling threatened, because it knows there is more than enough good for everyone. Confidence removes the need for comparison. You stop measuring your journey against someone else's timeline because you trust that your own path is unfolding with perfect purpose. Peace allows inspiration to enter naturally. When the mind is no longer crowded with endless worry, fresh ideas begin appearing with surprising clarity. Solutions that once seemed impossible suddenly become obvious. Creative thoughts arrive without struggle. Right decisions become easier because fear no longer drowns out quiet wisdom. Many breakthroughs begin as gentle impressions received during moments of calm, rather than moments of frantic effort. Every ordinary day becomes meaningful when lived with joyful expectation. You greet each sunrise believing that something wonderful can happen. You meet people with openness instead of suspicion. You approach your responsibilities with excellence instead of resentment. Even small blessings become reminders that life is continually working in your favor. Gratitude grows stronger because you recognize goodness in places where you once noticed only problems. A peaceful expectancy transforms the way you walk through the world. Your confidence no longer depends upon immediate results or perfect circumstances. You carry quiet assurance into every conversation, every decision, and every challenge because you know that unseen goodness is always moving toward you. Your heart remains open, your spirit remains steady, your thoughts remain hopeful, and your life becomes a welcoming place for blessings that often appear suddenly, exceed every expectation, and unfold with a beauty that could never have been produced through fear, hurry, or endless striving.